source thing is definitely a problem, because when you go to college, you are definitely not going to learn media law. And if you learn media law, then you will learn sections and case law. Now, section and case law is great. It is a good start, but it does not prepare you for what we are talking about. So, what is the other source? So, see, of course, our courses are there which are designed in that way that, you learn those things. But forget the courses. The way I want to tell you is that, think about it this way, okay? If you want to learn information, that is not good enough, okay? Learning information is not that great, okay? What is very good is to learn some skills, okay? So how do you learn skills? You learn skills by practicing that skill, okay? So if you wanted to learn singing, okay, you'll have to, you say you are going for a major competition next year, or you want to majorly improve somehow, and you have 1 year time. What will you do? You will practice 1 hour a day. You will have a coach to guide you, right? Somebody who will show you that, okay, this is the mistake you're making, this is how you improve. Same thing, if you go to the gym, you work out, if you can afford, you'll get a trainer to also show you how to, so that you can make rapid progress, right? Any skills are like that. I believe that legal skill is also like that. That you need a coach, and you need a sort of a system to follow, right? A curriculum that you have learned this, then next this, next that. And that is very important. And the way this happens, it already happens like this in a workplace also. In a workplace, what happens is that there you have coaches who are like your seniors. And the curriculum is that whatever work comes in front of the senior, he gives to you. And through that process, you learn. The problem, there are two problems with learning it at the workplace. One is that it is not a safe space to learn, okay? Because if you make mistake, it is held against you, right? It will be held against you. If you make a mistake at the workplace, it will be held against you, because there are real consequences on a client, okay? So it is not a safe space to learn. It's not a safe space to make mistakes, okay? That's one problem with learning at the workplace. The other problem with learning with the workplace is that it happens way too slowly and way too unstructuredly, and everything is too much up in the air as to how much you're going to learn. Some seniors will take out time to teach you. Most of them will not. Most of them, they may have a teaching style that doesn't suit you. And after all, anyway, they are not professional teachers. They don't, they are not sitting there with a idea as to how they're going to teach you and all of that. Most of them do not even want to teach. Now, given that scenario, if your learning is so critical to your success, then the question remains is that can you rely on your boss at your workplace to teach you, right? So what is the alternative? One great alternative anybody who must use this is that if you have relatives, or if you have close friends, or cousins, whoever, somebody who is ready to show you the work, you should request them that, can you give me private tuition? Literally, can you give me 2 hours a week private tuition on this skill? And they can. Maybe they have to think a little differently than they currently think. They have to give private tuition to you, as simple as that. Okay, if it is contract drafting, they can give you one contract to draft every week, and those 2 hours you sit down with them, they give you feedback. That works. That works brilliantly. Okay. I mean, I know people don't do it, so it sounds weird, but it works. Tried and tested, trust me. Same thing for any kind of drafting, even coming up with argument strategies, everywhere it works. The other way is to, if you don't have, what do you do? If you don't have a close family friend, what is the other way? The other way is to find a place where you can intern and learn like that. Okay, so it has to be a long-term internship. It has to be at least a 6 months, 1 year kind of internship, because people won't take you seriously before 3 months. Okay, that is how it is. And even then it will be a little subpar, because the first priority is you doing some grunge work, and then if they have time, they'll teach you, right? So it slows down things, but even then it is worth it. It'll be worth it. If you can do a long-term internship, please do it, it's worth it, okay? Finally, and it feels a little, I don't know what else to say. There is our courses where you can learn, the only benefit is that it is much faster. What you will be learning in a job maybe over 3 years, we can teach you in a year or 6 months or so. Okay? Because we have a systematic process and teachers and like scheduled hours and like a whole machinery to push you that skills and give you that practice. Like you go to the gym, they're geared towards giving you that skill, right? So that is what matters. Like it is designed in such a way that you get the results you want. So that's the whole point of why we build the courses that we build. But I never say that you have to do a course necessarily. But you must do a cost benefit analysis, right? So if somebody money makes problems disappear, right? You spend some money, you get a better solution. It's always like that. But if there's anyone who doesn't have the money, and money is the issue here, right? Don't let that come in the way, because you can still do the 3 other things, right? And money should not be a problem, because being in the profession that you are in, if you are not able to get at least 5,000-10,000 stipend, this is what I tell everybody. Anybody says, I don't have money to buy a course. I said, let's talk and find out how you can start earning 5,000 stipend and then take it to 10,000 in stipend, so that you do our course or not, this problem with money should not persist. Because that was my situation also. I started with 300 rupees pocket money, which was not even enough for phone or basic necessities in a hostel. But after that, I had to go out and earn money, and I was able to pay my own college fees. I was able to travel abroad. So if you have money problem, you have to solve the money problem. That's all I can say. So that something like a course doesn't become too difficult to access. There was a time when Abhyuday was he used to live next door to me in college, in hostel. And he had access to SCC database. Like in the whole 5 years, he and there was one more person who had access to SCC online. Okay, because his dad gave him the access and said, you must have this. And that was such a great thing, right? To have as a student. At that time, Manupatra was also in one computer in the library, there was Manupatra or something like that. And 2 computers then. And he had it in his laptop. It is such a power. It is such a he could read whatever cases, and could find it sitting in the class. He could find it so it's great to have good tools, right? It makes you more successful. It supports you to do better. So we should be able to invest in good tools. But I fully recognize that it's not possible for everyone. But that's not a reason to be discouraged. You understand your cost benefits, and then you figure out your money problems, earn enough. As a lawyer, if you're not earning enough, then it's a shame, right? Unless you're doing it because out of choice. If you're doing it out of choice because you want to help the people and you don't care about money, I understand. But if you are having money problems and you're not earning enough being a lawyer, then it's a shame. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's solve it. Okay. Okay.
You were saying something? No. Okay. Just to add on to what Ramanuj said, basically when we are having problems in an organization, how do you basically cater to those? As he gave 3 solutions to you. I just want to add on one more to it. I feel that when you're starting off in your career, it's not necessary for you to just aim for big guns. It's good for you to just be a little grounded, learn everything what you can, and then probably go. Because as he pointed out, if you're working for very big clients and you are goofing up in your matters, or basically you're not doing the things properly which one expects out of you, so yeah, that does put you in a wrong spot. But imagine if you are actually working in an environment where the stakes are not that high, firstly. Secondly, fine, you may not get that good money or income or whatever it is. But at the same time, you may get direct supervision from a learning experience from your senior. So imagine that third component, which perhaps may be the most important ones in your initial years. If you can capitalize on that and thereafter make a switch to a bigger organization, that would be much more beneficial to you. Because let's face it, it's a very bitter truth, to be really honest, that yes, if you are a fresher, you will get paid less. That is for sure. And one would expect less out of you. That is also a given. But if you learn in your basic careers and thereafter, you make a switch, or you decide to go to a bigger place, later on, when you are much down in the profession and you are making some mistakes which probably one would not expect you to make at that point of time, that would be a bigger problem then in comparison to now. So don't aim for the big guns. It's not necessary. Make your base strong, I would say. And then thereafter, when you feel that, yes, I have achieved a certain thing, or basically I have, benchmarked a particular, any particular goal which you are basically wanting to look at, then thereafter you can think of making a switch.
Sure. You want to add something?
Yes, I think, yeah, I'll sum up with just one point. I think Ramanuj just mentioned about attrition. So I will just quickly tell you, attrition, I hope all of you would understand, this is like rapid movement of people in an industry. Like people take up jobs, leave jobs easily. Media is one such sector. And the amount, so I have been very closely associated with the sector for like about 4 or 5 years now. And I've seen the kind of movement happens. So from in-house to law firm, then law firm working 2 years, back in-house, again back to law firm. The amount of movement I've seen in this sector is really, really, it surprises me a lot of times. Why is it so also? So you need to understand this is also a sector, unlike any other sector. There are segmentations within sector. So once you become, let's say, an expert in, let's say, something to draft on the social media guidelines, or when you become adept at distribution part of it or licensing part of it, you would also want to do it for a couple of years, then move about and experience, enhance your skill set in some other say. So a lot of times when people move from TV production back to law firms, enhance their skill set on the movie side, went back to a movie production house. Then somebody said, okay, I have done a lot of movie production, distribution, and now I've learned so much in distribution in the law firm, I want to go join a channel. So then they went and joined a channel, and then let's say a Z Broadcasting Network or any other channel that's more into broadcasting side. So the nuances which the sector is made up of also has a lot of opportunities. So you may not be just wanting to go join a law firm and spend your entire career over there, or a legal department and spend your entire career over there. This is a sector that does witness a lot of to and fro of movement purely from the learning perspectives. But why I was discussing this point is, how do you make that difference? Any sector which is basically service industry sector based, you will have to be dealing with a lot of people. So I think all of us missed out on one part, which is you have to have exceptionally good people skills as well in this sector, because how do you stand apart from 100 others who are also going to be doing same kind of contracts as you are doing? Is your ability to comprehend the business part of it. How well do you interact with your clients or people who are going to be availing your services, and how sensitive are you to their needs? So are you able to understand what they want, articulate it and put it in an agreement? Or are you able to understand what they want and get them the same sort of relief from a enforcement court or a forum? So understanding of people, understanding of the industry, and also being aware that yes, a lot of times we say that attrition is bad. Perhaps this is one industry where attrition is not that bad, because if you do need to move from one place to another to enhance your skill set, this is one sector that's not going to be viewed, not going to view your movement in a lot of negative sense. Stability is what, yes, every organization looks for, but then people also understand that the movement is purely derived out of the enhancement of the skill set part. So that also is something that industry recognizes completely as to how the functioning is there. So that's about it.